We should be live.
Thank you, Julie. And we'll wait another 30 seconds or so for anyone that may want to join us, but we'll get started in just another 30 seconds to a minute. All right, I think it's about 6:32, so we'll go ahead and get started. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nick Kimball, and I'm the city manager for the city of San Fernando. I would like to welcome everyone watching and thank you for your participation in tonight's virtual town hall meeting to listen to with the purpose of listening to the community and receiving feedback on what qualities residents and business owners would like to see in our next police chief. So I want to start with a little bit of background for everyone. Well, I want to first get to the next slide. So as some of you may know, after 39 years in law enforcement serving the city of San Fernando, Police Chief Anthony VAIRO has announced his plans to retire at the end of this calendar year. Chief VAIRO has served as the San Fernando Police Department's chief since March of 2015. Throughout his tenure, Chief VAIRO updated and modernized many of the department's policing policies, increased training for all sworn officers and professional staff, enhanced the city's focus on community policing, elevated the annual National Night Out event to a remarkable level in the community engagement, and updated department equipment, including patrol vehicles, in-vehicle computers, citywide radio, and the citywide radio communication system. Just for those that may not know, we're a relatively small police department. We have a total of 54 men and women that work in the San Fernando Police Department. Of those 54 personnel, 35 are sworn police officers. That includes the chief and management staff. 19, and then there's 19 non-sworn support staff. Those include dispatchers, property officer, records staff, and parking enforcement. Just for everyone's note, this is the total police department budget. The total budget is about $9.6 million. The total city general fund budget is approximately $23 million. Most of that budget is about 6.8 is toward our patrol operations. 1.4 million goes towards police administration. That includes the property officers, dispatch, records folks, and the police chief. And then there's about $1 million to run the detective operation. Just a little bit of some public and safety enhancements that we're going to see in 2022 that our new police chief will be working with the city to effectuate some of these enhancements. We have 4 new police officer positions that were newly approved in this budget. So we actually went from around 31 sworn officers to 35 sworn officers. It'll take us a few months to get staffed up and get those persons hired and trained, but we do expect to see more of a presence because of those 4 new officer positions. Additionally, there are 4 new patrol vehicles that are currently in the midst of being replaced. As I mentioned earlier, we are upgrading our citywide radio communication system, upgrading and modernizing it to a digital platform. We received funding for body-worn cameras. Those will, again, the new chief will be working through implementing those new body-worn cameras, but we did receive funding courtesy of our state senator Hertzberg. So we thank him for those resources. And then this year, the return of the National Night Out event, which will be held on October 5th, again, assuming that the health orders related to COVID don't change. That is a great community engagement event. It's been very popular over the last number of years. And we hope to, we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to have it in October. It's going to be in front of City Hall, so there'll be a little bit more room for everyone to spread out. but we still look forward to that event and having our police officers engage with the community and get to know everyone. So the police chief recruitment will be an open and competitive process. That just means it's not an internal recruitment. We are opening it up to any qualified individuals that may want to apply. The goal is to hire the most qualified and the best fit for the community. The city hired the search firm of Ralph Anderson and Associates to manage the recruitment. Ralph Anderson Associates is a national leader in public safety executive searches, having successfully completed recruitments for some of the nation's largest cities, including San Francisco, Sacramento, Oakland, Austin, Texas, Columbus, Ohio, and some executive police positions for Seattle, Washington. They've also successfully completed recruitments for many small and medium-sized cities throughout California. We have retired Chief Greg Nelson is with us tonight, and he'll go over, in a few minutes, he'll go over the process of the recruitment process, but he will be, he's our project manager, and then also retired Chief Brian Noblet. So Chief Nelson joined Ralph Anderson and Associates following a career of 20 years in the public sector. Prior to joining Ralph Anderson, Chief Nelson served as chief of police, where he was known for his progressive and principled leadership. He was also a co-founder of a municipal human rights committee, engaging businesses and citizens in workshops and community dialogue on diversity and social equity issues in and out of the workplace. Chief Nelson has a wide breadth of diversity in his portfolio of executive recruitments, both in geographical markets and functional areas. And then retired Chief Brian Noblet, who's also assisting in the search. He's more recently joined Ralph Anderson Associates, following a nearly 35-year career in the public sector. He has a vast array of experience as a law enforcement leader, manager, and executive. Chief Noblet has extensive experience in the area of leadership development, coaching, and mentoring. He has a strong passion for identifying and developing leaders who will provide stellar service to their communities and organizations. He actively practiced community-oriented policing concepts throughout his career and very effectively integrated community participation into the delivery of public safety service in communities he served. I think the background of both Chief Nelson and Chief Noblet is integral to understanding what type of chief we need here in San Fernando, and they understand the community policing and the diverse population that we serve. I will now turn it over to Chief Greg Nelson to give an overview of the recruitment process.
Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. The first step of any executive recruitment is to invest the time in listening and learning about the needs of the community that we're recruiting for. And that's certainly the case for police chief recruitments, probably more so than any other position. And so we really want to take the time and to listen to key stakeholders. And that includes members of the city council. The police officers themselves are represented by the Police Officers Association, and of course the community through tonight's meeting is a good example. We also want to take time and review the job description for the position and make sure it's in keeping with current trends and the job market, so that we'll be able to attract the right types of candidates for the position. And finally, we really want to dial into a lot of the soft skills and fit issues that are going to be so important for finding the right fit for San Fernando. And those are those personal characteristics, those personal qualities that really take a qualified candidate and make them also a good fit. You can move to the next slide, Nick. Once we have a candidate profile created, we move into the next phase of the recruitment, which is outreach and recruiting. Part of this work is done through advertising. We do have an advertising campaign that will place ads in places that are likely to attract the types of candidates that we're looking for once we've identified those in the profile. But the bulk of this work is really done through very intensive person-on-person emails and phone calls and text messages, and really leveraging our networks, having done several police chief recruitments in the past, not only looking to attract candidates directly, but also calling on people that are well connected and asking for recommendations and suggestions. And by doing so, we're always currently expanding our candidate networks and continuing to refine the lens at where we're looking and zeroing in on the right types of candidates. We also do research to identify potential candidates for the position. I do want to take a minute and just recognize just how important diversity is. Our firm has an outstanding track record of placing women and minority candidates, and we've tracked every single placement since 1972. Long before a lot of the national conversation has really caught up on diversity. It's been a point of pride for our firm, and we definitely will make diversity recruitment a goal of every recruitment, and certainly for the city of San Fernando. Next slide. Once we have recruited candidates, then we go about the process of evaluating and screening them. We spend time with them in an interview setting, learn about their soft skills, learn about their styles, learn about the potential fit, things you just can't see on a resume. And after having done that and some preliminary vetting, we're prepared to meet with the city manager and his team and make recommendations on who we believe are the candidates that are best aligned for that position. Those candidates are invited to an interview process, which we'll design with the city to be fine-tuned to the city's needs. And ultimately, in the council manager form of government, such as in many cities, including San Fernando, the city manager is the hiring authority for the police chief. And so Mr. Kimball gets the difficult decision of making the final selection for this position.
Thank you for that overview, Greg. This is one of our final slides here, just before we get to the feedback portion of this town hall tonight. I just wanted to kind of throw out a few bullet points on what exactly we're looking for, and what would be a good use of this town hall tonight. And I think up here we have a few ideas. One, just in general, share your thoughts on what you think you love about San Fernando, and what are the things that you want to see preserved, through our police department and the leadership of our next police chief. Desired and background and experience, identifying any key issues that you believe the city is facing, particularly related to public safety, and things that you think, during the first few months on the job, our next police chief really needs to dig into and look at, as that person takes the leadership of our police department. Also, if you have any core values that you think that the police chief should reflect, and please make sure that you let us know what some of those values may be. And then the last purpose of tonight was really just to help everyone that's interested understand the process. Fortunately, it's been quite a while since we've gone through a police chief recruitment and selection. We've had some stability at that position for the last 6 years, which is we're really fortunate. So we want to make sure that we make another good decision, and hopefully have another person in place for 6 more years and beyond. So, and I did also just want to mention that, again, the purpose of tonight's town hall is really to receive community feedback and get that input from regarding our next chief, rather than necessarily then discuss specifics of any particular incident. So if there are incidents that anyone wants to discuss or wants to bring up, please email citymanager@sfcity.org. That would be an appropriate forum to kind of highlight those issues. But we won't be discussing any specifics of a specific incident. Again, tonight is really to get feedback and want to hear from the community on what you'd like to see in your next police chief. So with that, I'm going to put up my last slide here. So thank you for participating. Anyone that may be participating live and watching on Facebook, please put in your comments. If you have any comments or questions, please put those in the comment section on Facebook Live. If you'd like to call in and make a statement or provide input, you can do so through our Zoom, the Zoom meeting tonight. The number is 669-900-6833. Meeting ID is 869-9336-0290. And the passcode is 501263. Also, if you're watching this after the fact, or you're not watching it live, and you just think of something, tomorrow, and you want us to, you want to provide that feedback, please email it to citymanager@sfcity.org, and provide that feedback. That's a monitored email address. So with that, I do know earlier today there were a few written comments that were sent in. So I'm going to ask Julie if you can read those written comments first, and then we will start letting in people from the waiting room that might have some comments and reading comments off of Facebook.
Thank you very much, Nick. Our first public comment comes from Maria Esther Mesa. She says, "Good evening. My name is Maria Esther Mesa. My parents and I have lived in the city of San Fernando for the past 24 years. We have lived in relative peace and security for a majority of this time. While San Fernando has always had its issues, we recently noticed an increase in thefts. My father is a skilled construction worker. In his 30-plus year career, he has built the surrounding shopping centers and housing developments in Porter Ranch and Santa Clarita. Last week, my father's work truck was targeted and stolen from our street at 1318 Pico Street. While his truck was recovered with extensive damage, all of his power tools were stolen. He has spent a lifetime amassing these tools, and in a mere 55 seconds, they were gone. This is a detrimental $20,000 loss to him and his household. Sadly, he is not alone. Through social media, a significant number of residents reached out to us with similar stories. My father's truck was recovered in the same area in East Los Angeles at the same tow yard as our neighbors' vehicles. Our community is suffering from an attack that threatens the livelihoods of our hardworking residents. While many of the community have become disillusioned with the police, it is our hope that the police department and incoming chief will actively work to curtail these thefts and protect our community. We do not need our neighbors risking their lives to protect their interests. Our neighbors and families have a right to feel safe in their own homes. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. I know you have a few more. I just wanted to thank Maria for that comment. We really appreciate that, and the city council and myself take public safety very seriously, and that's why we added some additional police officers this week, and this year through the budget, and are very excited to move forward on a police chief that really reflects a lot of the values that you had talked about in your email. So thank you.
Our second public comment that came in through email comes from Yvonne Mejia. She says, "Good evening. I wanted to share a few comments to be considered during the September 21st town hall. I'm a resident of the city and sit on the Planning and Preservation Commission. First and foremost, I want to thank Chief VAIRO for his exemplary service over the years and congratulate him on his next chapter in life. Cheers to your retirement. As the chief embarks on its journey of finding the new police chief, I wanted to offer a few comments for consideration. Specifically, I ask that the process remain transparent and fair, and that we consider the following attributes in the individual. Understands and appreciates the legacy of our police force. Albeit small, the force is embedded and involved in our residential and business community. We have a neighborhood watch council that truly serves as the eyes within the community. Maintains an exceptional level of service. One of the many reasons I live in the community is because I know that in an emergency, the force can respond and be on site within a minute. Holds department personnel accountable to the department's policies and procedures. Works in partnership with the community to advance our visions and goals, and acts as a change agent to inspire and train the next class of police leadership. We need individuals to understand the dynamics of the community and the region. And our next commenter via email comes from Max Greenfield. Hello, my name is Mark Greenfield. I don't live in San Fernando, but I've worked at 400 Chatsworth Drive in the city of San Fernando for over 20 years. I grew up in the neighborhooding city, Panorama City, with strong ties to this part of the valley. I believe the next chief of police for the city of San Fernando should also have strong ties to the city. Please accept my advice and choose a local person for your next chief of police. Thank you. That concludes all of our emailed statements.
Thank you, Julie. We do have one comment I see on Facebook, and then we can start admitting folks that want to make a live comment. I do see on Facebook Live, Nicholas Cardenas commented, thanks for this forum. For me, the #1 criteria is communication. Someone who can communicate thoughtfully and compassionately to all constituencies in the community is essential. So thank you for that comment and those written comments. So Julie, if you can start letting in folks to make their public comment, we'd love to hear it.
Yes, I'll be letting in one at a time. Our first caller is Gene Roski. Mr. Roski, go ahead and make your comments, please.
Hi, Gene, can you hear us? If you have a comment, go ahead and give your feedback.
Okay, I'll leave him in here and I'll bring one more person in. We have a Lorena, no last name. Connecting to audio. Mr. Roski, can you hear us? Lorena? She's still connecting to audio. Mr. Roski? We'll bring one more in. The person that has a Galaxy Note 20 Ultra 5G, do you have any comments for us this evening?
We're doing well so far. 0 for 3.
Let's bring one more in.
Sure.
We've got Kim Greenfield. Kim Greenfield, if you can hear us, if you have any comments for us, feel free to give them now. I see connecting to audio. Let's try one more. Bringing Angel Granados in. Angel Granados, if you can hear us, if you have any comments, feel free to provide them at this time.
I can. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Terrific. My name is Angel Granados. I'm at 722 Orange Grove Avenue. Pretty much a lifelong resident of the city of San Fernando and served on several commissioner committees in the past. I've had a long history in the city of San Fernando, as well with the San Fernando Police Department. I am currently 49 years old, and my first interaction was as a 15-year-old explorer many years ago. So I'm very familiar with the police department as well. I should mention that my daughter is a police officer currently there also. What we have seen in the past, maybe 4 or 5 chiefs of police, is a high turnover of chiefs. My humble opinion from the outside looking in is because we are drawing from a limited well of in-house employees that have worked their way up. God bless them for doing so. But our limited pool house that we pull from has turned into a subsequent revolving door of police chiefs. Back when I was an explorer at age 15, I don't even remember how long ago that was, like in 86, 87, 85. We had a Chief Block there for many years, for decades from what I remember. And then after him, just as I was going through the Explorer program, we had gotten Chief Dominic Ravetti, also an extreme professional. What we had since then was a short run succession of police chiefs that we continue to pay retirement for and all the benefits that they get once they retire. And in my humble opinion, again, from the outside looking in, this is not just a resident that just moved in or a resident that's never had any interaction with the police department. My wife and I have volunteered for the National Night Out committees for the last probably 6 or 7 years, put out a ton of money and time and energy and effort as volunteers in one shape or another, not only for our city, but also for our police department. And I just want to emphasize that we need to draw from outside of what we currently have, police officers that are eligible to run for city council. I have an intimate knowledge of the two that are eligible. And I just want to say that we need to go outside of the city to bring in a professional that knows how to run an organization, a professional that will stay with us for the long haul, a professional that will help with the morale at the police department, as it has been in a severe decline in the last several years. And as a resident, that is extraordinarily concerning, because what we see are police officers with a high rate of attrition, police officers that are no longer happy, police officers that have sworn one way or another that if a certain individual gets in as chief, they will be leaving. And that is highly concerning to me, because we will take a small police department and devastate it to go into a skeleton crew that we already are trying to recover from by putting in officers as quickly as we've been putting them in, just as quickly they have been leaving. And there is a reason for that. The reason is from the top down, the morale has plummeted. And as a long life resident here in the city of San Fernando, from somebody who is intimately familiar with the command staff at the city of San Fernando, I implore you guys to look outside for our new chief, for a professional that will help boost the morale and keep the police officers that we have, to have them go, not only the police chief for a long haul, but our current police officers also to go for the long haul. That is the totality of my comments, and I thank you guys for this opportunity to voice my opinion. And I'm a little saddened that there isn't a lot more people online wanting to put in. So that's a little disheartening as well. But I appreciate this platform and thank you guys for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you very much for those comments. We appreciate them very much.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go back to the people that we have in the waiting room. Mr. Roski, can you hear us? Would you like to make any comments?
I just typed in a comment and I just say this vocally. It is quite a challenge to find a combination of many years of previous experience and availability for many years of future service to the city. There is a great challenge that we face.
Thank you, Mr. Roski. Let's go back to the person with the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra 5G. If you have any comments that you'd like to make this evening, please feel free.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
Okay, great. Yeah, this is Michael Remini. Oh boy, where to start? First off, I would like to say that I am an extreme advocate of hiring or promoting from within. It has served me well, both in my personal career and as managing a small research and development team to try and get talent that I am familiar with, that I have some history with, that I think might be applicable to the job. Having said that, of course, it's only useful if you have some good people that you can, a pool that you can choose from. I believe that is the case here with the police department of the city of San Fernando. In fact, I believe we have two extremely well-qualified individuals. Now, I've had the pleasure and honor of knowing Lieutenant Hatch for several years now, and I believe she would be an excellent police chief. Now, I have lived in the city for about 45 years now, and my wife has lived here all her life. In fact, her family has lived in the city of San Fernando for over 100 years. Now, I've been actively involved in the city for about 10 years now, going to, up until COVID, going to virtually every meeting, council meeting, every neighborhood watch meeting, volunteered for quite a few things. I've been a commissioner on the Education Commission. And throughout this 10 plus years, I have witnessed Lieutenant Rosenberg being involved, either participating, volunteering, or organizing and running many of these events. And I would have to say that I think he is extremely qualified for the position. And it would, as much as I would like to see both in this position, unfortunately, we can only grab one. And in my opinion, I believe Lieutenant Rosenberg is highly qualified. He has volunteered and spent so much time and is such an asset to this city. I think that pretty much sums it up. So anyway, thank you for allowing me to put in my 2 cents worth.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Remini.
And we are readmitting Lorena. If you can hear us, if you'd like to make any comments, please do so. She may be connecting to audio. Let's try one more. We have a Galvan. If you have it, if you can hear us. Oh, we're connecting to audio. Lorena, can you hear us? Let's bring one more in. Galvan, can you hear us?
Yes,
Oh, Lorena?
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
please go right ahead.
No, just that I do agree with Mr. Granado's last comments that we should look into an outside.
Let's bring
one more
in.
Thank you, Lorena. I got those comments. I see you also made that on Facebook. So thank you.
We have a Galvan. Julie Quare. Do you have any comments for us this evening?
They're calling me.
On Facebook. So thank you.
Oh, hello?
Hi, is this Julie Quare? Comments for us this evening? Hello? Julie
Hello?
Quare for us this
Hello?
evening?
Can you hear me?
Is this Julie Quare? Hello? Hi, we can hear you very low. Julie Quare for us
Hello?
this evening?
Can you hear
If you can turn off or mute your computer, we're hearing some feedback, please. Hi, we can hear you very low.
Hello?
Hi, Julie, go right
Oh,
ahead.
okay, thank you. First of all, I would like to thank you all for, can you hear me now? Say sorry about that.
Yes.
First of
we
all,
can
I would
hear
like to thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank you for doing this town hall. I think this is really great. As a former planning commissioner, former safety and transportation commissioner, and one that's actually brought the National Night Out to the city, one who actually helped advance the neighborhood watch. Great. And as a volunteer with LAPD for the last 10 years, I think that I really think that we should actually get someone that's qualified, not only with their education, but with their experience and their knowledge in a variety of different things within the police department. Many years ago, we used to have traffic enforcement officers. We used to have game task officers. We used to have different kind of task, drunk driving, which I know we're coming out with that, but not as much as we should. But as residents have said, we have a crime that has gone up. Just a matter of fact, the other day, my windows were just shattered. The patrol officers are not out in the street as much as I like them to be. They're running stop signs that are, there's no control over the traffic. They're running stop signs, they're speeding. We need someone that's going to come in here and make some changes and make some good changes for our community and bring it back to where it should be when it comes to our crime. Our crime that has climbed up, and with the morale in our police department. And I think something like that, when it comes to our police department, we need to have a good morale with our police officers. And I think that's what's lacking, and that's what's lacking on the streets. And it's showing us residents that our officers are not happy when they're out on the street when it comes to the morale. It's like, where are they at? If they're not happy in their job, they're going to do their best, but they're not going to feel wanted or appreciated if they can't even feel that within the department. I think we need to go on the outside. I think when you have a history of lawsuits with the chief, the lieutenants, with the discrimination and harassment lawsuits in our police department from our own officers, is telling us there's something wrong and there needs to be a change. And that change needs to be someone from the outside needs to come in, and maybe let's get ourselves a good workforce, and let's get new officers that want to come to our city. We don't have anything to offer these officers. We don't have anything here. It's just 4 patrol cars. And then when there's a homicide, we have to call, the sheriffs to come in and do the homicide work. So there's a lot of things that I've seen in the past. I was born and raised here. There's so many things that have changed, and it's not for the best. You know, the people say, oh, you know, we have this downtown going on, this and that, but you know what? There's no patrol cars on the street. There's people's car getting vandalized. There's people's houses are getting broken into. There's people walking, not too long ago either. Someone just walked on the side of my house, started looking through the window. I mean, what is going on with all this? We have homeless that are coming out. There's homeless people right there behind the Jungle Chicken in that parking lot. And it just was one, and now there's two, and there's gonna be more coming in. We need to make sure that maybe our police department, is that their responsibility? Is that them to reach out to the owner and say, you know, we need to clean this up, or we need to see what's going on here? I really think that experience, education is very important. Knowledge, the knowledge of having experience as not only training officers, not only with, you know, we need with gang task force, we need a variety of different, someone that has experience in all different range besides what we offer in San Fernando, which is very little. We get someone that has much experience and that can make changes and bring our police department back to having all the resources that we used to have, is what we really need. And I'm really, really pleading with you to make sure that when we get someone, it's on the outside. Like I said, when you have a lawsuit from officers in your own department in regards to your chief and your lieutenants, then something's wrong. So it's time that we get someone from the outside to come in and make some changes and get the morale up. And let us see, us residents start seeing that, you know, we're going to be seeing our patrol cars on the streets. We're going to be seeing that they're getting pulled over for traffic offenses and running stop signs and speeding. And then we're going to also bring some more officers in that will come with a lot of their experience, but we have nothing to offer. And without having anything to offer, you know, we're not going to be able to bring some, you know, people in here, because once they find out we have nothing to offer, then they don't want to go. They don't want to stay. And I think that the chief that comes in will be able to, should be able to come in and make sure that they have the experience to do that. And that is bring the resources that we need, bring it back here, and truly get someone from the outside. Because if people are not happy, our own officers that put that lawsuit on them, that means that there's something going on. And that means there needs to be a change in our administration. Thank you for this opportunity. Take that in consideration. If you do not understand what I'm talking about, the lawsuit, I don't know if you can get a copy. Everything's on there, and it'll tell you who was on it. And well, I might as well just say it since I already did. It was Rosenberg, Lieutenant Patchett, and Chief VAIRO. Those are the ones that had that lawsuit on them for discrimination and harassment and all other issues within our own police officers. So with that being said, let's make sure that we look outside, because I guess that doesn't leave no one else on the inside. Thank you and have a very good evening.
Thank you for your comments, Cuellar.
And let's see if Galvan, can you hear us? Do you have any comments for us this evening? Galvan?
Yes. Good evening to all.
And let's see if Galvan, can you hear us?
I
Can you,
can't
can you mute your computer, please?
mute my computer.
We're hearing feedback. We're hearing the,
There's a delay. There's a delay between the Facebook feed and when you're on.
Hello?
yes.
Go ahead and make your comments, please. There's a delay between the Facebook feed and when you're on.
Hello? Hello?
Galvan, go ahead
Yeah.
and make your comments. If you can either turn down or mute your computer or your device that you're watching the Facebook feed on, please. And feel free to let us know your comments.
I just wanted to thank
Galvan,
everyone.
Go ahead and make your comments. If you can either turn down or mute your computer or your device that you're watching the Facebook feed on, please. And feel free to let us know your comments.
I just wanted to thank
Galvan, Go
everyone
ahead and make your comments. If you can either turn down
for the opportunity to be part of this commentary. Pick the best person, and I think we'll be good. Thank you very much. I just wanted to thank.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going back to our Facebook Live feed. We have a couple of comments. We have one, perhaps create dialogue with the San Fernando Police Departments and residents of San Fernando, city stakeholders. We need to work with the Los Angeles County because they're letting their Department of Mental Health patients leave all of you with nowhere to go. We have another commenter. The city of San Fernando is so blessed to have qualified lieutenants in-house. The chief needs to be someone that has and is continually engaging with the public. Our new chief needs to have experience in all areas of the department. And one more comment says they see patrol cars all the time. We have one more caller through Zoom, I will admit now. We
And
have
just a reminder to everyone, there is if you're making a live comment by calling in, there is a delay between the Facebook Live and the Zoom call-in. So if you call in to make a live comment, please make sure you turn down whatever device you're watching the Facebook Live on so that there is not a feedback or a delay. Thank you.
And we have Julio M. If you can hear us and would like to make any comments, please feel free to do so now. If you can unmute and then make your comments. Julio M. And I do not see any additional comments.
Hello.
Oh, here we go. Julio M. Please.
Hi, my
feel
name
free.
is. Hello, my name is Julio Martinez. I'm a small business owner in the city of San Fernando, and I grew up in the city of San Fernando. And you know what? I first of all want to congratulate the chief, and I want to congratulate all the police department, including the lieutenants and the sergeants and the new officers that are coming aboard. It's extremely difficult in these times, and I just, I strongly believe that the next chief, whoever it may be, is someone who's involved in the community, understands building relationships in the community, it could be friendly, fair, but absolutely firm. And the world is changing. We're gonna have homeless, we're gonna have mental health, we're gonna have substance abuse problems. There's kind of the laws are now towards treatment and housing. So as the world evolves, I would like to see a chief that evolves with the California state laws. You know what I mean? And anyways, I absolutely have nothing negative to say about anyone. I think everybody at the police department has done an outstanding job. They have done the best what they can do under the circumstances and within the budget too. And with that, I want to thank everybody for listening.
Thank you for your comments, Julio. Are there any other comments that you see, Julie, either through Zoom or on Facebook Live?
I do not. There are no additional comments on either.
Okay. Well, it's about almost 20 past 7. So thank you. I want to thank everyone for the very thoughtful comments, very thoughtful feedback. I think this was very useful for Chief Nelson. That's going to be working with all of the candidates and applicants to make sure that we get someone that is the best fit. Again, this is an open and competitive process, and the goal that we have at the end of this process is that we hire the most qualified and the best fit for this community, and which is why we got a great recruitment partner in Ralph Anderson and Associates to help us really find that person that will be the best leader for San Fernando. So with that, I don't know, Greg, if you have anything, or Chief Nelson, if you have anything to add before we sign off.
No, just likewise, very appreciative of this chance to hear directly from the community. It's always helpful, and the police chief can't be successful without being successful with the community. So understanding that perspective is very valuable.
Thank you. And again, if anyone has any additional comments and you weren't able to make them tonight, please email any comments to citymanager@sfcity.org. And I want to thank everyone for your participation tonight. And I look forward to taking all of that into account as we make a decision on our next chief of police. So thank you, and everyone have a good night.